So
It's
yeah,
like it's like what?
it's like when if you don't know, you don't have to follow the rabbit hole, all the way down to putting somebody in cuffs,
Right.
but you can put the knowledge out there to other people and make them aware of it.
Agreed. But I think again, the challenge becomes at what point do you say that, you putting knowledge out there that is a part of that rabbit hole versus informing people with information? I mean, if that's almost like giving people false information, I mean, when is that
But
not
but
okay?
but if you can back up what you the key thing is to be able to
Proof.
back up what you
Right.
put out there.
But
So
as we
anything I tell people, I always say research it on your own.
Well,
You
see,
know what I
but
mean?
again, but then that comes full circle because, like you said, if you have proof of it, then it's not a theory; it's fact. But when
Well,
we
that's
talk
what I'm
about,
saying.
but if we talk about conspiracy theories, it's
Oh
not a
wait,
fact.
okay, all right. Hey everybody, welcome to
Nice,
Real Brothers Live. I'm TL, and that's my man Stace.
yo, what's up?
And we got a good show planned for y'all tonight.
Hmm.
Our brother Guy
Guy,
will be here shortly. He
he's
had a
having
little bit of mechanical difficulty,
he having car
but he's
problems.
on his way.
Yeah.
And but we got a pretty live show for you tonight.
Plus, we all
So
know that guy likes to make the grand entrance, so he wants to come
yeah, that's
on.
Bobby. He's Bobby Brown of the group. That's Bobby.
Yeah, but he said he'll
He
be in
gonna
a
come in
minute.
shaking his hips and everything. All right,
That's
yeah,
right. That's
that's
right.
Bobby Brown. All right,
All right. So
yeah.
so we got a couple good topics. So as we run through the topics now, which is normally the case, Terry's going to put the link out. So we hope that once you see the link, you'll click on it and you'll be able to join us live
Right,
on the air. All right. So
right.
I'm gonna list to you the four topics that we have on the agenda. All right.
All right,
And
all
hopefully
right.
you saw them and
Yeah,
are ready to make your comments. We
right.
have then who killed Malcolm? Once again, then who killed Malcolm? That's one. We have Thanksgiving. Are we still doing
Mm-hmm.
that?
Mm-hmm.
We have Ahmaud Arbery. Are we closer to justice? And we have
And
we have sugar daddies versus cougars.
sugar
Sugar
daddies and
daddies
cougars. All right,
versus
that ought to
cougars.
be
All right.
interesting.
So we got the link out there. So please click on the link. And if you have something that you want to, some input you'd like to give to us and be a part of what we're doing here, please do that. All right. But before we get started, Knight,
Yeah,
randoms. You said
random.
we had an in-depth conversation before we started. So we said we'll hold on to it.
Yeah, we
And we'll
said we
bring
was
it
trying to
back.
hold on, but it was just busting at the seams. So
Busting at the seams. Right.
we had to come on and
All right. So what was it, Knight? What is it that you wanted to bring up as a random? Yo,
earlier.
say it again.
So yeah, so it was some of the stuff that I posted. Swear I'm a, but or what I
Wow.
try to relay is that if it can't be proven
Night.
or if there's no evidence at all, you ask. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you researched something and then you put out the information, then I mean, I think take that information for what it is. Either there's only two things you can do with information. You can research it. Well, there's three things you can do with information. You can research it, you can take it for what it is, or you can deny it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I just put it out there, and anytime I put information out, if you'll notice, I'll preface that by saying, do your own research.
And now,
Right.
Terry, first let me say that I have to be honest. Right now, it looks like my connection is going in and out. So if I miss a couple of things, just speed
No, you
right
good.
through.
You in. I think. Yeah, I
Now,
see.
the other side of that, though, as we were talking about, is at what point, though, at what point are you simply spreading conspiracy theories? And as Terry and I was talking about, though, if you can prove it, that's one thing, because now it's no longer a theory, it's fact.
Right.
But if it's something that can't be proven, at what point is going down that rabbit hole and putting that out there? At what point is that to the detriment of other folk? You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
the
I
question.
understand what you're saying, but my thing is I'm not going to put it out there if I can't if I don't have something to back it up. So anytime I put something out there, I'm not talking out of my ass. I provide links. I provide, where you can find the information. You know what I mean? It's not really up to me. Like, I'm not a teacher. You know what I mean?
But Nike, so are you saying that when you put links out there, those links are facts? Because that's
Uh,
not the case. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're things that other people have said, but they're
I
not
try to
proven.
make I try to make sure that the stuff I put out there is as factual as possible. I don't just half-ass willy-nilly just throw shit on there. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and I get that. I get that. Unfortunately, I think that especially in this day and age, like when truth itself is a part of political warfare, I think that we're in a bad place because so many people can believe something and cause them to act, but they're basing their information on information that's not factual, and
Right,
that's a
because
problem.
and that's the part of the whole control thing.
Mm,
Like I was saying in that post from earlier, there's only 6 media corporations that all of these everything that you see is controlled by 5 people.
mm,
So if they say I want my news to look like this, then their news gonna look like that. That's
mm,
why you have two separate. That's why they'll take the same exact story and you'll get 2 different spins on it.
mm.
You get what I'm
Now,
saying?
and I
Even though it's
do,
the same exact story.
I do, and that can be a challenge. That can be a challenge. But as I said before, though, unfortunately, it's not illegal and it's not a monopoly. So if those
Whether it's illegal or
media
not is irrelevant. States everything that's legal is not right. You know what I mean?
I agree
Just
with that.
because it's
I agree with
legal,
that.
don't make it right. You know what
Agree.
I mean?
I see, but not, now let me repeat something I said before, that I mentioned before we came on, though. Unless you were there to witness it yourself, you're still basing your position on something that you're being told. So you're still in the same boat. You know
I
what I
didn't
mean?
wit I didn't witness slavery, but I know it happened.
But right, I got that. But see, but that's
That's the
not a
same thing.
theory.
What's the
That's a
difference?
fact.
What's
No,
the
that's a
difference?
fact.
What's the
There's
difference?
listen. The
You said
difference
anything
is
that I can't see.
no. Listen, we're talking about facts versus theories and things like that. Slavery is not a theory. Slavery is a fact. So other
Right.
than that, when you talk about all of the news being controlled by 4 families, in a way, though, you're kind of still in the
That's
same
fact,
boat.
though. That's fact. How is that not fact? People know that what corporations are
Mm,
registered. There's a paper trail for that.
hmm.
So they
Who owns
know
what?
when they make reports, they know when what companies are owned by what corporations. Like
Right.
there's 4 conglomerates that owns a hun- 147 corporations that control everything.
Right.
80% of anything you put in your mouth, put on your ass, put in your system is controlled by those 147 corporations.
Right.
So
Right.
the thing is, like, and I say this because I'm not a conspiracy theorist per se, but I say this because that just tells you who has control
Mm,
and that and this lets you know that there's a separate agenda.
mm.
You know what I mean? And
Well, see
who
now,
has that agenda?
now I think that's where it crosses the line, though, because now when you start talking about an agenda, now it goes into those organizations coming together to do one thing. And I think that's where it gets a little gray, because to say that 10 people own the same, own say 90% or 80, 95% of the news outlets is one thing. But then to say, to make the leap that those 10 media conglomerates are trying to, to do one thing, all came together and are all on the same page
So
to
you don't
push one
believe they're
message.
trying to
No, 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 no,
conquer
no.
and divide,
I mean, see,
divide and conquer?
Nike, but then it goes back to, as you just said, though, unless you can prove it. I mean, who's to say that? Who's to say that they are, though? I mean, who's to say that they are? Why? See, but now that goes to what we talked about. Hold, let me out.
What?
That goes to, listen. That goes to what we talked about before we came on. Why 10 organizations come together to divide and conquer to do what? What would be the purpose? How would it benefit?
To have one global economy. That's what we've been moving for the last 10, 20 years.
Wait a minute, so to
One
have what?
global economy.
So 10, okay, so hear me out. 10 organizations come together to manipulate all the people to what? To do what? To buy Nikes? I mean,
What? Stace, you looking at this. I keep
no,
saying
no.
you're looking at
You
the
said that
small. You
before.
talking
No,
about
no, I'm
Nikes.
not.
What are you
No,
talking
no.
about?
I'm just using it as an example. What I'm trying to get at is, what will be the purpose of 10 organizations coming together to make everybody in the world think a certain way? What will
Control.
to do
Dominance.
what though? I mean, to do what? To dominate what? To dominate what?
To
So that we
dominate
all.
people, to dominate business, to make as much money as they can. Like Stace, I don't understand. Like like
Again,
what
I'm
part
not.
of that like that don't like I don't
No,
understand
again,
like what you're
as I
missing.
said though, no, as I said, for me, if I can't prove it, and I hear something, in order for me to say, okay, it has to still make sense. So I can't wrap my mind around 10 organizations, even their competitors or whatever. Hear me out. To come together to make everybody in the world think one particular way to dominate, or I don't understand what the purpose of that would be though.
Have you ever heard of a man called Adolf Hitler?
Yes,
What was his so what was his what did he want? What was he trying to do?
he was trying to take over countries, to spread. He was trying to spread communism. He was trying to spread
What?
communism. Yeah, that's what he was doing. He's trying to take over, spread communism, go from country to country to spread communism.
Spread.
So,
Is that what he was doing, Steve? Is that
well,
what he's doing?
maybe I'm lost. What was he doing then? Adolf Hitler? What was he doing then? What was he doing? He was killing
Hitler was trying
Jews.
to. He was trying to He was trying to have world domination, man.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Like,
but his
don't say
political.
that what doesn't make sense, man. It's like we are only repeating history. We are repeating history.
Well,
Like
you know what,
people
Nike?
that don't know their history are when you know that saying, the people that don't
Bound to
know their
repeat it.
history are
Right,
deemed to
right,
repeat it. We
right.
deem to we're doomed to repeat our history because people act like they don't recognize when their history has started to repeat. You
See,
get what
but
I'm
Nike, you
saying?
know what though? I do. I understand what you're saying, but I go back to what I said. If I'm gonna say or subscribe to a specific something that's not a fact and that can't be proven, then to me,
What
but
part is
hear
not a
me out.
fact?
Well, but again, to say that these corporations that let's just say that these corporations that own the majority of the news outlets or what have you are all coming together trying to dominate the world. There's no proof for that. So therefore, that's a theory. That's
There's
what
plenty of
some
proof of
people
that
believe.
because
Uh,
the proof
See,
of
I don't
that
know
is
about that, Nike.
actually the proof of that is you basically really only have conservative news that's owned by one faction, and then you have liberal news that's owned by the other faction.
But
You
that
can get
doesn't.
report. Wait, let me finish.
Okay, okay.
You get reporting on the same exact stories in two different ways.
For the most part, those are the most
For the
prevalent ones.
most part,
But yeah, but that's not it though. There's more to it than that though. No. There's more to it than that. But
what you mean? What?
Explain, I mean, it's not everything is not only Democrat and Republican. I mean, no, there's more to it.
No, I
didn't
say Democrat. I didn't mention Democrat, Republican at all.
So
I
you
said
say what, conservative or liberal.
Right.
So you still have a libertarian slant. Now, are they as large as the other two? No. And even wait a minute though. But even in other countries, that might be the case in the United States. But in other countries, there is no liberal or Democrat.
People, I didn't say that. I didn't say nothing about any other country. I said the United States.
Okay. Well, see, within you, but the United States is not the majority of the world. The majority, the United States
of America.
Who said anything
about the majority of the world? What are you talking about?
But you're making a leap. So you're saying that these. So okay, maybe I misunderstood something. When you talked about these news organizations that own 90% of the media, you're only talking about in the United States then,
right?
Oh, okay, that's a different story. Okay. So outside of these borders, you do realize that it's a whole separate game. It's a whole different world outside of these walls. You do realize that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I got it. All right. That's different. All right. Listen. All right. I got a random. Yo. So what's there to be said about all of the, okay. Two things, guns in the city, basically who do we partially or primarily point the finger at? And this is why I asked that question. I was having a conversation with someone on Facebook, and what he was stating is that he pointed, I guess, the majority of the blame on the mayor, saying that the mayor is primarily responsible for the gun violence that we're experiencing. What? Why are you laughing at?
Who said that?
Well, that's not important. That's not important.
The mayor.
Okay. Not to make it sound like that, but I guess what that person's position was that if the mayor was maybe tougher on violence, that there wouldn't be so much gun violence. Oh, there you go. So yo, guy, what's up, Doc?
What's up, family? How's everybody this evening?
Pretty good, man.
Turn your mic down a little bit, bro.
He's good. How you make it out, man?
I'm good, thanks. My apologies for the lateness.
Okay, no problem, man. All right, we're on our second random. So while you get your lighting together, so Night, we're talking about gun violence and who's primarily responsible for this is a random for the gun violence in the city. Mm-hmm. Somebody that I was talking to. Go ahead, Nike.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Someone that I was, he left. So go ahead, Nike. So why did you laugh when I said that, though? What are your thoughts on it?
How the mayor going to be responsible for somebody else shooting somebody? The people that are responsible for the gun violence are the people that's pulling the trigger.
Okay.
I'm a gun advocate, right?
Right.
Come on, I got plenty of guns. Mm-hmm. I'm not going out here shooting people. My guns are to protect my home, my family. Protect my property, protect here, and my personal, my personal body. Mm-hmm. Other than that, why I'm gonna go out here and shoot another person for? I have no reason to.
Now, the position, my take on it was that I put more of the onus at the state level, because I remember a little while ago, the city of Philadelphia attempted to pass gun laws, but the state jumped in and said that they couldn't do it. So again, my position is that a lot of the blame, or more of the blame, is at the state level than
at the state level.
At the state level, yeah, because it's gun laws. It's lax gun laws. It's them not being able to regulate gun.
But still, it's still not that, Stace.
I agree with you, Nike. Ultimately, it's the person pulling the trigger.
The trigger.
No question about that.
And another thing. So that's a law that you really like. the cat has been let out the bag on that one, right?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
So because so how did I don't see a way forward. I don't see a way forward for reversing the gun laws just because so many people own guns, right?
Mm-hmm.
People aren't going to just this is America. People in America are used to owning guns. That's just that's just the way it's been forever.
We're a gun culture, right?
Right. So people are not just going to come and turn in their guns. That's not going to happen. Right.
Well, but okay, go ahead.
I mean, you'll get some of them, man. I know that they're turning your guns and all. Trust me, people ain't giving up their guns because I'm not giving up mine. Right. You feel me? So the thing is, we have to make other laws. We have to come up with other ways in order to curb gun violence.
Agreed. I don't disagree with that.
You know what I mean? Here's a way. Training. Putting a constructive spin on it. You know what I mean? Like I said, neighborhood policing, stuff like that. Like you have to get those people that are using these guns for nonsense. You have to get them to use those guns for, constructively.
Now, let me ask this.
Or not use them at all.
Well, but, and I hate to say it, do you have to be tougher on people that use guns to commit crimes? Is that part of the answer?
What you mean tougher?
I mean, more consequences. For our sentences. I mean, we come back to that.
Yeah,
what you mean?
Depends. It depends on the situation.
Of course. But it brings us back to where we were years ago, whereas people are out. I mean, look at all the smash and grab stuff. That you can't let that stuff run rampant. You have to do something about it. There has to be consequences for those types of actions. People can't think that it's okay to run into a Macy's with a hammer, smash the display.
What they got to do with guns, though?
No. Well, they call it the broken glass theory. If you let petty crime run rampant,
somebody having some background noise.
I think it's God. Is your thing on mute? That's not you, God.
It's solely.
His joint is muted. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was God.
I think so.
Oh, it's not me. It's not me.
Okay. All right.
There's no music going on over here.
No, not music.
There's no music, no sound, no nothing.
Okay, we're good. It's that. I think the echo is going.
I'm in an empty room.
Okay. All right. But I just think that, like I said, the broken glass theory that you can't let petty crime go unchecked because it only escalates. You have to do something about it, though, because those same people that think that it's okay to run into a Macy's, smash the glass, and take what they want and leave out, if it goes unchecked, then it's only a matter of time before that crime is taken to the next level.
Yeah, but Stace, you talking about we went from talking about gun violence to talking about petty crime.
No,
there's two mutually exclusive things, right?
What I was doing was wrapping it all up in crime. Period. You can't
do that because the minute you wrap petty crime up with gun violence, then you're going to be giving people the right to sentence brothers to they're gonna be roofing brothers for petty crimes.
Yeah, no.
Because it's all lumped into the same bill.
No.
As, you know what I'm saying? You can't.
No, there's still levels to it. But remember though, initially I said that. I didn't say this part, but at the state level, part of it, to your point, people aren't going to go just randomly go in and turn in their guns. I think one of the first things you have to do is prevent new guns from getting on the street, and that's where the state comes in. That's my point.
What you think about that, guy?
Well, first, I think I know for sure.
You got an echo.
It's okay. He's in an empty room. It's all right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Is it from my room?
No, you good. You're okay. We can understand you though.
Oh, I was saying, guns don't kill people. People kill people.
True.
So it's really got nothing to do with the guns, or even the gun laws, because most of the people who commit those crimes, their guns aren't lawfully registered anyway. So I don't know if a whole lot of gun reform is going to change gun crimes. I think gun crimes will be changed when we change the poverty level in those communities that that suffer the most from violent crime, from gun crime. I think resources is the answer. I don't think gun control, I don't think those gun lobbyists, the NRA, legislation, none of that. Because like I said, those guns that kill people out on the streets, those people who use guns and weapons like that to kill folks, those guns, for the most part, aren't legally registered. They aren't legally purchased. They're straw purchased, or they're just going on the street. So yeah, no, I don't.
And like I said, that's not going to change. That's not going to change the law.
I think God has spilled his cereal.
No, that was my damn. That was my garbage disposal. My foot hit it. I'm going to go ahead and trip it.
Pull it together, guy. We trying to be professional here. God damn. No, but seriously.
This is where I disagree with that, though, guy. I think that.
Wait, what part do you disagree with?
I disagree that that some of the blame or a lot of the blame aren't on those people that allow those guns to hit the street. I do agree that the person that's ultimately responsible are the people pulling the trigger. I agree with that. But I don't think that we can let those politicians, and as somebody else that you just took it down said, the people that benefit from guns being on the street, I don't think that we can let them off the hook. And I think that with what you said, that's saying that they have no responsibility as far as allowing guns to run rampant in our neighborhoods. And I don't think that's the case. I do think they bear a lot of responsibility.
The cat is out the bag. So blaming them, that's not going to change anything. Well, what we got to do is change the mindset of the people that's pulling the triggers.
Knight, I agree with that. But listen to this. If there are 50 guns on the street, let's just say there are 50 guns on the street, but another 100 comes in the following day, that's a problem. If you could only start with that 50 and try to and make sure that no new guns come in, you don't think that would be beneficial?
No.
What God? Hold on.
Because the people that's using their guns to rob and
so you saying
people,
like it doesn't.
They don't need a new gun to do that. They don't need a new gun to do that. They can use the gun that they already have to do that. So like it don't matter how many guns is on the is.
I disagree with that 100%. I disagree with that 100%. You're telling me that it doesn't make a difference if it's 2 guns on a block or 1,000 guns on the block. That's not going to make a difference. Was that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
What do you think, God? What are your thoughts, man?
I agree.
That you don't think that the number of guns on the street make a difference?
Well, when you're talking about guns, so you're talking about 2 different sets of guns, Stace. You talking about guns that are legally possessed and owned and registered by citizens of the United States. Those guns are not the guns that are being used in these crimes, right? The guns that are being used are the guns that are illegally purchased and secured by people who intend to use those guns for harm.
Got the serial number filed off.
1 gun, 2 gun, or 1,000 guns on a block. You're talking about legal guns. And you're talking about monitoring those guns. Those aren't the guns that are the problem.
I got you. All right, let me rephrase that then. Let me rephrase that. If we're talking about the flow of guns into a neighborhood, what about if we looked at it from that point? Again, if we're talking about
that's not going to change the flow of guns in the neighborhood.
Yeah, because but if you think about it though, no, it will. If you clamp down on the manufacturers, the same way that they clamp down doing prohibition, they clamp down. Yo,
you low key conservative, bro.
Yeah, you is, man. Because that shit don't make no kind of sense. That shit you be talking sometimes, man, don't make no sense.
Well, first of all,
real, son.
Knight. Well,
I
first of all,
anything wrong with it, but
exactly. Now, Knight. I'll say this, Knight. You might be able to say that you don't agree with it, but you can't say it doesn't make sense.
Well, it don't make sense to me.
Okay, there you go. Right. But no, I mean, but see, I don't let them off the hook like that, because if that's the case with y'all, based on what y'all
that's just
saying,
placing blame, though.
No. That's saying that the people, and actually what I'm saying is that everybody bears some responsibility. I agree with y'all that ultimately it is the person pulling the trigger because like y'all said, and I agree
But
with.
you can't have it both ways now.
No. But if you're talking about a problem, it's nuanced. I mean, it's not black and white. There are levels to it. It's nuanced. So we can't let those politicians that allow gun laws to run rampant, we can't let them off the hook and say that you have no bearing on the violence in our streets. We can't do that. They bear some responsibility. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. They bear some responsibility. The Republicans that won't allow the city to pass gun or say that if you're the victim of, if you have been convicted of a violent crime, beating your wife up, you can't own a gun or if you have a mental illness, for the people that say that you should be allowed to have a gun, that's a problem. That's a law. That's a problem. There should be laws against that. Y'all are saying that those law people that let that go.
These guns that's on the street, do you think they're actually applying for these guns and getting approvals and getting licenses and going through all of the stuff that you're talking about for regular people, for people who normally purchase guns?
But okay,
that's not the crowd we talking about.
See,
we talking about the crowd.
I understand.
We talking about the crowd who going down to go see, Junior down the street. You know what I mean? I don't know what Junior getting them guns, but he's selling them for like $500 a pop.
But
I can go to Junior, I can get a gun, get the serial number filed off, get the handle on it that I want, and boom, I'm done.
But Nike, but that's saying that truckload of that guns that come into Philadelphia, part of those guns probably end up purchased legally, and a part of them probably end up being purchased illegally. But again, my point is that there still needs to be some control on the selling, the manufacturing, and the way those guns are distributed. There still needs to be, we can't let them off the hook totally. That's my position on it.
All right, next topic.
There you go. All right, guys, since you came in late.
Moving right along.
We're right along. All right, we're coming to you, man. We're coming to you.
Okay.
All right, so the topics. All right, we got But
then we had one we didn't hit from last week.
Then who killed Malcolm? That was the one that we didn't hit from last week. So I guess we're gonna start off with that one.
No, you was about to ask me what I wanted to get down with. And you ain't give me a chance to answer.
Hey, God.
All right, go ahead, man.
How you playing me like that? Like my whole situation random, or like what we doing here? Like,
all right, Bobby. Go ahead.
Like, what's really real?
All right, Bobby. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Bobby.
Hey, God. See, that's what happens when you come to class late. You get sloppy seconds.
You come to class late.
You get sloppy seconds.
Oh, shit.
All right. So
what we got? What we talking about?
We're gonna give you all the topics, and then you're gonna let us know where you want to go.
All right.
We got then who killed Malcolm? We got Thanksgiving. Are we still doing that? We got Ahmaud Arbery. Are we closer to justice? And lastly, we have sugar daddies versus cougars. What's up, guy?
All right. Well, I know we're gonna get to one of the joints, so I'm gonna leave that one where it's at.
Right.
I want to go with. I want to bring it to Ahmaud Arbery.
Okay.
I want to see what's going on with that. I want to talk to y'all about that and see what y'all feel about that.
Okay.
So now, when we said Ahmaud Arbery, what exactly were we saying? We want to discuss about the Ahmaud Arbery and those three folks that killed him.
Well, they were found guilty. Those three individuals were found guilty of murder in some form or another. So the question is, are we closer to justice? I mean, we all wanted to see them found guilty. Are we any closer to justice? Now, remember, they were found guilty by an all-white jury with one African American. Are we closer to justice? And I would like to see what this person says. Stacey, need to go talk to the youth out here. But go ahead, guy. What's up?
I think yes. I think we are closer to justice. The wheels of justice turn, but they turn really slow. So we all know that. The reason I think we're closer to justice is because, not just because they were found guilty, but look at what they were found guilty of. Like, each one of those dudes, for the top count that each one of them faced, each one of them has a minimum mandatory life sentence. Now, the only question for the judge at this point with regard to sentencing is whether or not that life sentence is going to be life without parole, without the possibility of parole, or life, true life. So I think I don't know if this is the first time that 3 white men have ever been convicted of killing a black man and they're going to get life in jail for it. It might be, I don't know, but I think that's a step in the right direction. I think we got to keep moving in that direction. I think there's justice for Ahmaud Arbery's family, yes. However, families like Emmett Till, they should have found all of those men guilty of murder and did the same thing. So if you look from back in the 50s, or was that? And it was the 60s, 50s, up until now, and you see the difference. Yeah, justice is moving in our direction. So I think we are moving closer to justice. To answer the question, I think we're very far from where we need to be with regards to justice, but I think we're moving closer to justice.
Nike, did you have something you wanted to add to that? Because I have something I want to add to both of y'all. And so why you think, Nike? So Guy, in other words, you're saying we haven't reached where we need to be, but we're moving in the right direction.
Exactly.
You think? Okay.
I think so.
So you'll take these small steps.
I won't. The only reason why I say that we're listen. I've been a criminal justice major all my life, so I understand the way justice is, and I understand. And I got into the justice game because I want to be a part of moving the criminal justice system from this antiquated system of oppression of African American people to a place where there's equity across the boards. I am not satisfied with this move closer to justice. I will not be satisfied until there is justice. Just like the late Dr. Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Or justice delayed is justice denied. So until we have full justice, equity and justice, equal justice, no, I'm not satisfied. I do like the direction that we're going in, though.
Okay, right. Okay.
I was about to say, so you echoed this at the end, echo my sentiments.
What's that, Nike?
Like, so I do believe that, his family is closer to justice. Are we as a people closer to justice? My answer would be no. Unless you're satisfied with the little crumbs that they, if you're satisfied getting the crumbs that they give you, then that's one thing. But just because one guilty verdict and what should have been an open and shut case anyway is not, it doesn't tell me anything about justice. It doesn't say to me that things are getting better now just because these 3 white men who killed this man in cold blood, which should have been open and shut because all the evidence pointed to that. But
Nike, I mean, okay, let me ask you a question then.
That doesn't scream justice to me.
It screams
justice for their family.
No, but listen to what I agree with what Guy said though, and I brought that up for a minute. I think God know why I said it.
I know what you're doing.
I know you did.
He's lining me up.
I peeped that too.
He dipped out of it.
I peeped game.
I know you did. But Terry, I agree with Guy, and Guy said it. He's not satisfied. No one's saying that we've made it, but we have to. What if they would have been found not guilty? With this case, like you said,
that would have been even more egregious.
Right. But so in other words, then, and as Guy said, we don't know when 3 white men were ever found guilty of killing 1 black man before. And I'm not saying that it never happened, but we don't know when that happened. And let's face it, with this trial here, the system was on the system was on trial. 11
10 wasn't on trial.
The system was on trial.
Open and shut case.
And it worked the way that it was supposed to, right? Because they should have been found guilty and they were, right?
All right. So if the system is so the system is so good, how come Rittenhouse walked?
No, you didn't answer my question. Don't change the subject. Did. No, you didn't. I asked you, did the verdict happen the way that it was supposed to in this case? You said it should have been open and shut, and they were all found guilty, right?
Yeah.
And that's all we want. And no one said that we've made it. But what I've been always saying is that, as Guy said, not institutions change slowly. And then now and no one is saying that we've made it and the system is perfect, but it changes slowly. And we got and to answer your question, we do have to accept these crumbs.
The topic of the question, or the question of the topic, whatever, however you want to put it, was, are we closer to justice? And the answer is no, we are not closer to justice after that verdict than we were before that verdict.
So you don't think that verdict made a difference whatsoever?
His family is closer to justice.
So you don't think that that verdict made a difference whatsoever?
No.
You're saying guilty or not guilty, it wouldn't have made a difference.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
You
asked me, does it bring black people closer to justice? And the answer is no.
What do you think, Guy?
I think we are moving closer to justice. We are, and the proof is in the pudding, because rewind 50 years ago, all of them would have walked. And the thing about it right now, okay, so just last year, or it might have been the year before last, the Supreme Court ruled there were a few states still holding on to the fact that you needed or did not need the entire jury to go one way for a verdict. The Supreme Court it might have been 2 years ago, and they ruled that in those cases that there has to be a unanimous decision amongst jurors. So rewind this, John, 50 years ago, any one of those jurors could have said not guilty, and he would have been acquitted, and he would have walked. To have that entire jury all agree that all three of those men were guilty of murder, every one of them. And that's a black body that they took out, you know what I'm saying? And there were attempts throughout, from the moment that there was a phone call made to the police, all the way up until those men were indicted, there was a cover-up by the prosecutor, the DA over there, who then flipped it to another DA, who then flipped it to a third DA. They were doing everything they could to prevent justice from happening. 2 years ago, that would have worked. Last year, before George Floyd, that would have worked. Today, it didn't work. And it's because there is progress in that.
But I think that in this particular case, there was a preponderance of the evidence that they couldn't get past. So do I feel like
preponderance in a lot of cases? I mean, come on. Emmett Till, like there was a preponderance. This man,
Emmett Till was 50 years ago. Come on, guy. Emmett Till was 50 years ago, guy.
Around his throat, they had his tongue cut out.
Emmett Till was 50 years ago, guy.
Right?
I seen the
pictures. Let him finish.
At that point in time. So you compared the two. There was more evidence then than there was today.
Now, what were you saying, Knight? What were you saying?
That was 50 years ago.
But again, that's there's progress. That's the whole point.
You're right. Then there's progress.
Right. 50 years ago, a preponderance of evidence, Emmett Till's murderers basically walked. And,
no, not a single one of them was convicted of a crime.
Correct. And the preponderance of evidence this time, they were all,
which was
much less, all found guilty of murder, not manslaughter or anything like that. You know, 3 white men found in a I don't know if that was a predominantly white neighborhood, but found guilty of murdering a black person. That's progress. And again, Knight, we're not
I'm gonna
saying
tell you what the difference.
Let me just finish the sentence. Again, not saying that we've made it, but we're talking about in this instance the justice system work the right way. All right, Knight, what you gonna say?
All right, so just like who was this that said this on Facebook?
It didn't work because of the film.
Shice and Brenda both. What Shice said first, it didn't work because of the film. Emmett Till didn't have it on tape.
Regardless, that's evidence. It's evidence.
Not regardless.
It's still evidence, though.
If you see something, Stace, if you see something on video,
but in the legal system is not based on hypotheticals.
That's different than somebody's body being found and then them charging somebody for it.
Terry, but listen to this though. The justice system is not based on hypotheticals. We can't say, well, because they have it only worked because they had video, but that was a part of the proof. So if whatever it took, when you lay that information out there and you come up with a decision based on what you have, a lot of times they had proof and it still didn't work out right. What's up, Shice?
What's up, family? How y'all feeling, guys?
Good,
What's up, big bro?
What's good?
What are your thoughts, man?
I just want to jump in. I think I'm in the middle, and I think I'm leaning more to Terry because progress, yes, there has been progress. We can't deny the progress. My thing is, it's not enough. It's way too uneven. This playing field. We all could agree on that, I believe. And that's the difference. I just believe the cover up would have stayed a cover up.
Agreed.
If that tape didn't come out.
Agreed.
So we'd have still been. If it didn't have tape and the family was telling you, or some of the people in that community was telling you what happened, we'd have seen again the injustice against us.
Agreed.
And our people. Yep. So progress, yes, because you're talking about Emmett Till in 2022, 2021. So yes, there's progress, but we'll be back here again in 2022 with a bunch of other cases, unless you got George Floyd. 8 minutes for him with a knee on his neck. It's hard to get around that.
Right.
But we could get around chokeholds. We could get around all these other shootings and people running away and get shot in their back. We keep seeing that. And I don't think that's going to change.
But right. That's what I mean. That's what I mean when I talk about wait, you keep cutting me off.
Go ahead,
that's what I mean when I'm talking about if I think that that is real justice, or if that is justice for all black people. I think it's great that his family got justice. I'm all behind that. I feel good about that. But is that justice for black people in general?
Yeah.
I don't think it is, because
I think it is.
Like I said, like I said, if you're happy with incremental crumbs, that's fine. But if we're going to be equal, if we're going to have equity, if we're going to have equal justice, if we're going to have equal whatever, it has to be equal. Equal means equal. Equal doesn't mean, okay, well, we'll fuck with y'all some of the time, and then we'll give y'all what y'all supposed to have some of the time. No, equal means equal.
Now, to two things. First of all, as I said, institutions change slowly. And I know you saying it in a negative manner, so I'll just repeat it. Change. You accept the crumbs as they take them. You don't say, well, I want change, therefore I don't. If you don't give me the whole loaf of bread, I don't want any. No, you fight for change. Change. Period.
So you saying you should always go?
No. Listen to this. Second thing, I think that there are two separate issues though, and there was one word that Shice brought up, which was cover up. Now listen to this. As Shice said, had those tapes not come out, he would have been. They wouldn't have got the result probably that they got. But do you all know that the DAs and the police people or people that covered up that tape are now being prosecuted? So therefore, I think this is the way that it's supposed to happen, because like you said, the tape leaked out. But the people that were the cause of the cover-up, they need to pay prices also. So if they pay the prices also, that says the message is, if you were part of a cover-up and something like this happened, and whether you did it or are a part of the cover-up, you're going to pay the price for it. That's what I'm talking about. That's the way that it happened. And guys, somebody say hi. Go ahead, Shice.
But wait, before Shice goes on, let me get in here, because I want to say first, Shice agrees with us. He said he says he agrees with us, but he leans more towards Terry. But when you actually pose the question, he agrees with us 100%.
Absolutely.
Because the question is there progress?
Correct.
He agrees.
No, that's actually not the question.
What's the question?
The actual question is.
Are we closer to justice?
Are we closer to justice?
Shice, did you say we were, or did you say we weren't?
I was speaking to, because I heard the question the way it was posed to me. Are we closer to are we making progress? So to that point, I say yes. Are we closer to justice? I want to say this because it kind of leads me into what I was trying to say. Every time I turn around, It's a middle-aged black man getting released from prison because of DNA evidence.
Agreed.
That's not showing me that we're closer to justice because your life was taken away for 20 years and you're coming home. It's showing me is the flaw in our justice system, that these black men are kept being targeted, railroaded, and it wasn't till DNA evidence got them free. So are we closer to justice? I don't want to give a knee-jerk reaction to that. So I was just saying, I don't know. I don't know.
It's not enough.
Like after the fact, after you kill somebody, after you cover up, and a tape comes out, and you have to do the right thing.
Well, see,
right. That's my point.
But it doesn't account to, are we closer to justice and equity? If I turn around and I'm looking at, we disproportionately locked down, locked up, targeted, profiled, and killed by the police.
But Knight, two things though, Shai, to respond to what you just said though. Even with that being said, people now, middle-aged black men being locked up for 40 years is terrible. But you know what though? I'm glad that for whatever it took, I like to see them going back. What is it called? The Innocent Project, going out, representing these people and getting them out is better than them leaving them in there.
So in your opinion, that's cool. In your opinion, that's cool.
I say, let me repeat what I say word for word. It's better that the Innocent Project go and represent these people and get somebody out that was falsely locked up than leaving them in there. Do you disagree with that?
Of course not.
So it's Knight saying leave them in there. Is that what you're saying, Knight? Leave them in there because you're saying
leave them in there. When did I say
so
that?
you agree with me then? So you saying because that's my whole point. It's better than nothing. That's my point. It's better than nothing. I'm not saying we made it. I'm not saying we're at the end, but it's better than leaving them in there.
So better than leaving them in there is closer to justice. Okay.
Right. All right, Shice, listen, why are you on here? We're gonna let you choose the next one. All right, Shice. Wait a minute, were you being sarcastic? Wait, did I miss something?
No, I'm really, like I'm saying, I don't like to do knee-jerk reaction. Okay. I'll probably call you tomorrow because I'll probably beat this up. You know me. You know me.
I know you will. I know you will.
Ongoing conversation.
All right, listen. So we got you're gonna choose this next one. Then who killed Malcolm? We got Thanksgiving. Are we still doing that? Or we got sugar daddies and cougars?
You know, I want to talk about. I want to hear y'all talk about Malcolm.
Oh, I think you could say sugar daddies and cougars. All right, give us your feedback on that, man. Because go ahead, give us your feedback on that.
So you say who killed Malcolm? We've seen documentaries. I've read many books and all that. So basically, and the people in Newark say it's no secret who killed Malcolm. They know the brothers that out of that Newark mosque that actually pulled the trigger. But it comes into a bigger conversation. Right. Greenlighted it. Were they moving on their own accord outside of the nation? Yes, I believe they were. I don't believe Elijah Muhammad said do this, or you know what I mean. But the way the nation is set up and the way the believers are set up, he's the messenger. That's high blasphemy. So people that pledge themselves to that will be overzealous and act. Even if I say, my father, you slapped my father say leave that alone. You think I'm gonna leave that alone? Right. I believe that. I believe, you know, like I say, the people in Newark, New Jersey say it ain't no secret. We knew who did it. He lived in that community.
Right.
So there's no. Now you want to talk about did the FBI had everything wired up, had people inside the mosque, inside the nation, inside Malcolm's group knew they was coming and let it happen? Yes, I believe that too.
Okay. All right. Hey, guys. Hey, Shice, thanks for joining us, man. And when we get into this next topic, man, if you want to join in, get back on with us. God, what are your thoughts, man?
All right, Shice, be good, bro.
Peace.
What are your thoughts, guy? And I wanted. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I let myself out.
I can't do it. All right, guy. What are your thoughts, man?
On Malcolm.
Then who killed Malcolm, man? The boy that they said did it.
Turn your mic down a little, guy.
I don't think you can, but go ahead.
My technology is just as good as yours, Stace. My volume go up and down, bro.
He trying to tell you. He like, no, he can't. He like,
y'all want to stop stunning me all the time, man.
his equipment trash. He can't turn it down.
Y'all want to stop stunning me like that all the time.
I didn't mean it that way.
Y'all be killing me, man.
My fault. I didn't mean it that way.
He said, "Guy don't have no volume on his electronics." Come on, man. When the last time you seen a piece of electronics and he have a volume? You know what?
Yo, he got the knob that turn like this.
All right,
That's crazy. Like you can't turn down the volume when you got a cup to your ear with a string on it, and somebody else got a cup with a string on it. That's what he's talking about. That's what I'm working with over here. A cup with a string on the end.
My fault.
So Malcolm X, I gotta be frankly, I'm not as well versed on Malcolm X as a lot of people are. I'm probably middle of the road with it, you know. So I probably have a knowledge of what happened, just like the average, ordinary, everyday person, right? The common knowledge. And with that, I have to believe, based on what I've read in documentaries I've seen, that, like Shai said, even though there was an individual from the community that actually pulled the trigger, somebody else gave the green light.
That's right.
Because we know that our leaders ain't just walking out getting knocked off by people in our communities. Our communities ain't letting it happen. Right? They're gonna down you before we let you kill one of our, the leaders of the movement, and our, especially somebody with that much notoriety, somebody that's famous. So I do think that the green light came from higher up. I do believe it came from our government. I'm not able to point a finger and say exactly who, but historically, our government has sanctioned the murders of several of our leaders. And you can run down a list of them if you chose to. So I wouldn't be surprised, and I actually have Malcolm X on that list too. So I think it was sanctioned by our government.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I agree with it.
So this is my take on it. I don't have any proof about this, and when I don't have proof on things, I admit that.
Yeah, of course.
But we know that J. Edgar Hoover and his boys, had a close eye on Malcolm, even when he went on pilgrimage. They had people following him and everything. So I just like they had people join the Black Panthers and infiltrate them. I think the Muslims were the group was infiltrated, somebody in his circle. And I believe that just like they killed Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, JFK, you know what I'm saying? All of that was around the same time, and I believe had something to do with the same people. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it was, things were starting to be like they are now, where there was an uprising of Black people. So whoever was in charge wanted to get our leaders out the way and be like, look, y'all can act up if you want to, but this is what's going to happen. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So that was a way of them trying to put Black people in their place, just like when they killed the Black Panthers. Same thing, you know what I mean? And they'll probably come knocking on my door one of these days. Who knows? You know what I mean? Whatever, but
I think we all in agreement with that, and I think the fact that if the government was the body that said that the person that killed him did it, and now they're saying that he didn't. Not unfortunately, but I think that it does then shine a light back on them and makes you ask the question. So in other words, you're saying now that the person that did it is still out there. That's really what they're saying. If they're now saying that the person that did it didn't do it, so I agree with both of you on that. I think it shines the spotlight of the people
organized it.
Absolutely organized it. Correct. Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
That wasn't just a single. A single hit,
right?
You know what I mean? That was organized.
Agreed. That came at the highest level. I agree with that, though. I mean, I think that, like I said, it does shine the spotlight back on the government as far as being, if not, like they said, they might not have been the one that pulled the trigger, but they were the one that, as God said, green lighted it and said
here's another thing. His daughter was killed right after the guys were let out.
The next day.
The next day.
Wow. Yeah, that night. It might even been that night.
I think it was 2 days later, but even still, you know what I mean? So that something's, stays. Even though, like you always tell me, if I can't prove it, I can't prove that. But when something don't smell right.
Well, and
You know
Night,
what I
now,
mean?
and
If
I
it
agree
don't
with
pass
that.
if it don't pass the shit test, you know what I mean? If it smell like shit
See,
and
but
it look like shit, it's probably shit. You know what I
my
mean?
point, and my position on that, Night, I agree with you, because and my philosophy is always, does it make sense? And that would make sense. You know, that would make sense to quiet everyone down, and we know that they have a history of doing that. So I think we're all in agreement with that. All right, Night, we coming to you, man. All right, so we have so guys, should we give him an option or just give him one to do?
We're just gonna give him one. We're just gonna give him one.
Like,
Hey,
sugar
it's 9
daddies.
o'clock, man. If you want to squeeze 2 of them in, you better come on.
All right,
it's 9 o'clock.
We got sugar daddies and cougars, and we have Thanksgiving. Are we still doing that? Which one, man?
I know what you want to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and go.
I'm
going to the sugar daddies. I'm going. There's my 2 sugar daddies. Two real brother sugar daddies over there.
Yeah,
we're gonna go with that one.
All right. So wait a minute. So first of all right, one of you, and I don't know, you know, it's irrelevant who brought it up, but where did this come from? Where I said, what's the discussion on it? What were we talking about? Refresh my memory. What were we talking about?
Well, first, let's define a sugar daddy, right?
Okay.
So a sugar daddy is somebody who's paying for a chick, I guess
sex.
like friends with benefits or some shit, right?
Right.
Same
not
thing
just
with
friends. No, a little deeper than that, because like you said, they paying phone bills or paying something for that body. Sugar daddy,
friends with benefits.
It's not friends though. Friends is just people screwing. There's a difference.
Yeah, friends with benefits is just, we agree we're gonna knock each other off every now and then.
What's your sugar daddy? Sugar daddy is the same thing?
No,
there's
sugar daddy
there's an arrangement in place.
Right. You pay my phone bill. And you come over and bada bing, bada boom. So,
you talking about like the Reebok? You talking about the Reebok bras back in the day?
No.
No. All right, guy, you want to help him out?
I'm gonna help you out.
The Reebok bras back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
The classic Reeboks and all that. So I think what a sugar daddy is, there's an explicit agreement between this man who's older and this woman who's much younger. Not just younger, but much younger. And I think it's based on number one, everybody's got to bring something to the table, and there's an exchange. The exchange is, I'm going to do these monetary things for you, young lady, and in exchange for that, you're going to please me sexually. And it's more than a pair of Reeboks. A sugar daddy I think a sugar daddy, the range goes from maybe,
it could be anything.
It could be anything, but it ain't the $40. Like, because the $40 ladies is different too.
That's regular fee.
You make a phone call, $40, that's good. But the sugar daddy is an ongoing relationship with a young lady who's going, look out for this man's needs. And not just necessarily sexually, right? She might do other things for him. She might be his little arm piece when he slide off every now and then and hit the streets or whatever. She might be almost like a nurse to him. She might slide through, rub his feet, rub his back, all of the fly shit that he ain't getting from somewhere else.
What about the cougar side? On
the cougar side, okay, so now let's go to the cougars. So the cougar, I think, in my mind, because I was having a conversation with some folks, and we were talking about cougars, and we were talking about sugar daddies, and I was saying that the cougar is the female equivalent of the sugar daddy. Because you got these cougars out here, right? You got a 50-year-old lady hooked up with a 25-year-old young boy. She makes sure he got his PlayStation. She makes sure he got his bag of weed. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, right. She let him. She sometimes they paying for your cell phone. They bringing you all the sandwiches you want. You know what I mean? They gonna keep you fed, right? You gonna put on some pounds for the sugar mama. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it don't necessarily have to be like a 50-year-old woman, 25-year-old man. It could be like an 80-year-old woman and me, or even a 70-year-old woman and me. Even a 60-year-old woman and me. That could be a cougar relationship, right? Like, it depends. So there you have it. That's what the sugar daddy is.
Jones be wanting you to wear your back out. You know what I mean? Just like Carla said, stamina too.
that's
the young Jones to wear your back out.
Yeah. But you know what? Okay.
Old heads be like, man, I'm gonna give you this little piece.
Let me ask this though. So why is it then? Why is it that the sugar daddy is frowned on, but the cougar is giggled at?
Who say the sugar daddy frowned on? Them young girls out there ain't frowning on.
No, not the ones that's in it. Not the ones that's in it. But it's almost a joke. It's almost a joke. It seems to me, it's almost a joke when the cougar is able to bag the young boy, but you got this old dude running around with the young girl. It's like, oh, why she in it? I'm
gonna tell you something. You know why some people frown on it, and I'm gonna tell you who don't frown on it. Men don't frown on it.
Correct.
Young girls don't frown on it.
True.
And those old school people that I know of that used to run the same saying, a dry purse don't go with a wet ass. Right? Those people don't frown on it. So the only people that frown on it, and this is something I like, listen, I've heard that one of my old heads used to tell me this back in the day.
The only one
that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying.
One of my old age used to tell me, listen, guy, the only cat that's gonna knock your hustle is a cat that don't got no hustle. So the only person that don't like a sugar daddy is a person that ain't got a sugar daddy.
Right. Or the ones that can't get involved.
Or the ones where the bloom done fell off the rose, and now that the bloom done fell off the rose, you can't get you a sugar daddy. Because the sugar daddy ain't gonna pay for the flat bag titties with the raisin on the tip and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't paying for that. Bro,
wow.
I'm gonna keep it bean. I'm gonna keep it bean. If your boobs is hanging down to your nip to your belly, ain't no sugar daddy paying for that.
You can lay your head on her hips and then just and pull one of them joints down. You know what I'm saying?
But TL, here go how it go down. When you get ready to be a sugar daddy, you go find you one of them. When you get ready to be a sugar daddy, you go find one of them. So when it comes to my money, I'm not spending it on that.
So in other words, though, but the bottom line is really
because you get a choice being a sugar daddy.
There's nothing wrong with it on either end.
You don't have to take what comes your way. You get a choice.
But it's nothing wrong on either end, though. There's nothing wrong. I mean, if that person, if she's no longer in the game and she could go out there and get the young boy and buy the PlayStation, etc., it's up to them. There's nothing wrong with it, right? I mean,
sometimes these old heads don't want the headaches. They just want to,
Listen,
have a little touchdown when they feel like having a little touchdown, and then you know what I'm saying. Keep it pushing.
The sugar daddy is paying. He ain't paying for the sex. He paying for you to leave after the sex.
Oh, nice.
Right,
Well, hey, Nate, what I want to know is how God got all the answers on this. This the most animated that he's been since we've been on.
I know, right, yeah.
Hey, God, you got all the answers. All right,
I'm single longer than y'all. And listen, I've been approached. I'm not saying I got me a little sugar baby and none of that.
Bring that one back up, Shice. Nike, bring that other one back up. I want to read it.
Which one?
Go ahead, guy.
I'm saying I ain't saying I got a little sugar baby or nothing like that, but I have been propositioned a number of times for young girls that want a sugar daddy. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't need it right now. You're not there yet. You can still maneuver. So you don't need it.
Listen, once they put me in my wheelchair with my American flag on it, and I'm driving down the street with my veterans hat on and all that, then I'll probably have me a sugar baby then.
Come here, young girl.
Yeah, come here, girl. I'm gonna chase around. Come here. That's me. Give me about 15, 20, 30 years or some shit. And then
you still in the game. All right. Somebody said
I'm deep in the game right now.
Yeah. Somebody said it comes off sometime as an old head looks silly giving all the money to the young John because she rubbed his feet. Yeah, but if that's what he wants to give his money, I mean,
he can look as silly as he wants to.
He's like, well, if that's what he wanted to give his money.
I'm just saying. I mean, listen. Yeah, look, y'all talk about me being conservative. I'm conservative, but I'm live and let live. I mean, if that's what you want to do, and you're not hurting anyone else,
you ain't living let live. As soon as somebody talk about paying for some cootie, you calling the cops.
No, listen. Remember, I'm the one that said it should be legal. So no,
States,
I don't believe
there's
that.
laws against that.
No, listen what I just said.
Laws against that.
I'm the one that said it should be legal. It should be legal because what you decide to do with yours, that's up to you. Especially if you're gonna do it for free anyway. You might as well get some coin for it. I know. All right.
Hey, all right. Let's squeeze this last one in right here.
Haters are laughing, and that's what God said.
Did Stace? What's your take on it, Stace? That it should be legal or what?
No. I say there's nothing wrong with it. I think that if it's nothing wrong on either side. I think I'm a big proponent of the marketplace. If the marketplace dictates that you're now out of the game, that you need to spend a couple of dollars because you just can't get somebody with your wit and charm, just pay the money. And if you got it to spend, and you can find somebody that's willing to hang out with you for an hour or so, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
on either side. I don't look twice about it. I don't look twice at it.
Right.
To each his own.
All right.
Live and let live.
Cool.
Live and let
So
live.
it kind of goes back to what I was saying. The only person that's going to knock the hustle is the cat that ain't got no hustle.
True. Right. Let the market drive that.
Right.
All right. So
All right, here we go.
All right. So let's get into our last topic for the night. Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a good colonizer day.
You had to put it in there.
Yeah.
All right. So the question is, Thanksgiving, are we still doing that? So I guess all right, Knight, go ahead. You already kind of.
I ain't gonna front. My family loves Thanksgiving because that's when all the grub get cooked and everything. So we had a nice colonizer day dinner.
Thanksgiving Day dinner, right?
Colonizer day dinner.
Right.
But the food was delicious. I got to hang with my fam, so that's the good part about it.
And
but
you call
the actual shit that Thanksgiving, the actual thing that Thanksgiving represents, I think is reprehensible.
So all right, guy. I go ahead, guy. What are your thoughts, man?
All right, well, I'm with Terry on this 100%. I'm on with the bean. I think, it's deplorable that we still celebrate that holiday. Not we, because I don't celebrate it. Now, granted, on that day, I will go to my family's house or I will host, and we will put out a mean spread, and we will all enjoy it and dine and all that. But on my end, I have to explain that because Thanksgiving Day, not the holiday, but the day off, means something different to a lot of Black people. And what that means to Black people is community, fellowship. It's an opportunity to share. It's an opportunity for your family to get together and actually share thanks, not necessarily for what the holiday was based on, which is a big lie, but based on us being thankful that we are survivors here in America and that we have an opportunity to fellowship and commune with each other and share good food and good recipes and all of the things that come along with families getting together at the holiday time. I haven't been really big on holidays since 1993 when my dad passed away. But I slowly started to understand what a lot of the holidays are that we celebrate. And as I started to realize what Thanksgiving was about, that's a holiday that's celebrating the murder of millions of indigenous Americans. And just for that alone, you won't like when we was in the group text, Stacey sent out a little joint. Stacey said,
Happy Thanksgiving.
And my response was it was a very terse F Thanksgiving. And that's because that's how I genuinely feel about the holiday, right?
And what my response was? Happy Colonizers Day.
So go ahead. So 2 out of 3 thinking that way. I think that's the direction that a lot of Black folks in America are going once we start to realize what we're actually celebrating when we say Happy Thanksgiving.
Now, and I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna bring Shice in. I do agree with you too. Now that I don't think it's ever too late to right an injustice. So if it's getting out here, why it's celebrated. But I do agree, though, use it as an opportunity to come together, to fellowship with family, but maybe think about rebranding it to something else. I do think that should be done, especially now that we know how, in theory, how the whole thing originated. Shice, what's up, man?
I want to preface this by saying, yes, I was at my sister's house.
Celebrating Thanksgiving?
Yes, I was at my sister's house.
I
got you. He was celebrating Colonizer Day.
Listen, because I will make it quick because I know y'all y'all running over. I'm over there. I got to see my nephew's Reg kids, my brother's grandkids that I haven't seen.
Wow,
it's rare I'm gonna get to see them, so I was glad to see them, busted up with them, and the niece and nephews. Love it, but I'm off all of them. You know what I mean? At my crib, I'm doing Kwanzaa, I'm doing Malcolm X's birthday, I'm doing Martin Luther King's birthday, I'm doing Juneteenth. I'm not doing all the other ones. I'm not nowhere participating in none of the other activities. And I do it because I want to be around my family. When I say that to say, I want us as Black people to keep that fellowship, but maybe we can move it to Friday or Sunday and call it something else, because we can't get around what it is.
The
genocide of the indigenous people of America. Because if it was our people that somehow they came out of slavery, we would want other cultures to like, yo, y'all really doing that? Y'all really eating and calling it something else? So I can't get around it. And I'm going to be at my sister's house next year. But I wish that we could interject something like, we doing soul food Sundays that week. We doing something Saturday or Friday. And just move it off that day. That's my wish.
I got a question for y'all. No, hold up. Before you go, quick question then. Okay, because you're starting to hear now people say just that. You know, you're hearing it now, a groundswell of people stepping up saying, yo, are we still doing this? Do y'all think it'll happen? Can you imagine 10 years from now?
Kwanzaa started off very small. Juneteenth started off very small.
That's what I was about to reference, Juneteenth.
Martin Luther King birthday started off small.
Exactly.
So, you know,
Black History Month started off as a day, then a week, and then a month. So
incrementally, y'all can see it happening.
Something like soul food Sundays, we off or doing something Friday or Saturday because we still off that Thursday through. Most of us still off from Thursday to Sunday. Right. We not doing it Thursday, but we do it here. It'll start off small. If we do it in 2022, 2032, it'll be a bigger, a real thing
to get rid of it. Right. So what we all saying is.
And people still had the option to do what they want. You just had the option.
We down with the little incremental change from starting it off small, and then eventually you get rid of it totally, right? We down with
no, because we never got rid of Christmas totally. We didn't get rid of Christmas totally, but I don't do Christmas, but I do Kwanzaa.
Right.
I still go down to the
Kwanzaa. But Christmas is different though. I think
festival.
Guys, don't let them bait you like that, man. Don't let them bait you like that.
He put me in the figure 4 and I had to reverse it. I was reaching for the rope.
All right, guys. Thanks again, man.
Bro, man.
Good, man.
All right, be safe, man. All right, yeah. Once again, y'all. Something else we all
words,
agree.
y'all?
Yeah. What you got, guy?
I'm not going first.
All right.
I'll give you my parting words. This is my parting words here. My parting words is check out that post that I sent. And like I said, when I post stuff, I don't post it for it to be, you know, my gospel or anything like that. I post it so you can research it further. Or if you can find, you know, some better information on it or some contrary information on it, hey, man, I'm post it. You know what I mean? Challenge it. You know what I mean? Don't just take my word for it. But the reason that I post stuff like that is to make people aware, to bring awareness.
Or think.
Right. And try to realize that. Try to realize when you're being brainwashed, or try to realize some of the stuff that you see is there for a purpose, and it's good to try to recognize what that purpose is.
Right. Okay. Nice. Now,
first of all,
you sure, guy?
No, I said I had to go last. I said I ain't gonna go first.
All right, I'll go. First of all, I want to read what one of the listeners net said. Recognize indigenous people instead of the day. That's not bad. That's a good idea. All right. First of all, I'd like to say thank everybody for tuning in, especially the ones that have been kind of riding with us. We hope that you enjoy it. We hope you get something from it. We hope that you see yourself in one of our positions, and we hope that you think. You know, I think this whole thing that we go through is because, like we said, this is the way Real Brothers talk. And we think about things, and we throughout the week we talk, we change each other's minds, but it all starts with dialect. So I hope that you get something from it. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for the new people. I saw a couple new people that chimed in. We hope you won't make it your last. And please subscribe on the YouTube channel because that gives us a little indication of who's paying attention. So you could subscribe there and let your friends know, please.
And you can see us. You can see past podcasts on RealBrosLive.com.
All of them since we
and
started.
we're available on all the major platforms.
Yep.
All right,
God.
everybody.
Well, hold
have
on.
a good.
God, no. What about God, man? You just go.
I thought he went last. I thought he went. You went last.
No.
I thought he said he didn't want to go last.
No.
My
no.
bad,
Go ahead.
God. My bad, God.
Go ahead, God.
Dang, I'm like the consummate stepchild.
I was just about to hit the click off button too.
Hey, that's how it goes down to me. Like sometimes.
You the American in the
go
bunch,
ahead.
man. Go ahead, God.
I see. So I just wanted to say, to just go along with what Terry said, what State said in the beginning and throughout, specifically based on the conversation that we had about moving forward with justice, and is there not equity, but are we moving forward? Is there progress? While we all know what my philosophy is as far as progress, I don't believe in progress. I believe in give me mine now.
What?
Right?
I ain't gonna work that in there.
These are my finishing words. These are my words. So, what I want to
You
say
had your
is,
turn, Stace.
in that spirit, in the spirit of progress, because we had the wheels of justice turn slow. And in the spirit of progress, I want to quote the Honorable Thurgood Marshall. And what the Honorable Thurgood Marshall, our Supreme Court Justice, said was, where you see wrong or inequality or injustice, speak out, because this is your When it's my turn to give my words, y'all let me know.
We listening, guys.
Go ahead,
I ain't gonna interrupt y'all when y'all giving up y'all words. Y'all let me know it's cool for me to drop my jewels.
You good. Finish dropping them.
All right. So an Honorable Thurgood Marshall, he said, where you see wrong or inequality or injustice, speak out, because this is your country. This is your democracy. Make it, protect it, pass it on.
Nice. All right. Thanks, everybody. Once again, don't forget next week, you can check us out. This one will be up probably sometime within the next couple of days. So tune in and don't
it'll be up tomorrow. It'll be up tomorrow.
And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. All right.
Our YouTube channel. Yep. Everybody
Peace.
have a good night. God bless and thank you for joining us in our digital neighborhood. Hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Good night.
Peace.